Okay, we're here. I'm here now with CL or HL, whatever he wants to be called today. What do you want to be called today, Lee?
I don't know. I've got so many names now. CL.
Oh, that's original. Nice one.
Yeah.
CL again then. And Damien Mann's here, listener of the show on the Patreon. Thanks for all the support, Damien. And he's come on the show. He wants to talk about this Hampstead Satanic cult stuff, right? So we're going to get into that in a minute. Damien, just a quick sound check because we've been having some problems. Can you hear me? Hello.
Yep, I can hear you guys.
There you go, perfect. Right, so I'm going to get into a bit of feedback here, and because I wanted to do it in front of Lee, because some of it is about him, and then we're going to get on straight onto topic. So first of all, I've got to get into the phone. Lee ain't that bad. In fact, it's not bad at all. It's good. Right, so this is from what was the fucking show we did last week? The Otzi the Iceman or something.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So it says here, this is from Troy. Troy Hideous. It says Lee was hilarious with his German accents. I spit energy drink all inside my work truck when you made the Chinese joke. Yeah, I didn't put that one on YouTube, by the way. And it says quality shit, laughing emoji. And then this is the Jaded Soul. This is Adam West again.
Oh God.
So Adam West, oh God, he's a nice guy, Adam West, just a flat earther. So it says Adam West, it says the Jaded Soul, it says fucking creasing at Lee's German impression, laugh my arse off, great show. Also, couldn't do a flat earth debate when you asked, as I was off to work on the live, next time dude. So he keeps sending me flat earth shit on TikTok, right?
Yeah.
So I'll go on now and I'll do some lives, and sometimes I have flat earth in the background, and I'll just say, anyone want to talk about flat earth, come on, and I'll rip the piss out of you. And he was like trying to mock me. So I said, well, come on and talk about it then. And he's, oh, no, dog's at my own work or something. All that shit they come out with, right? So next time, gadget. And I don't think he's got enough followers on there anyway, Adam, for you to jump on a live. So I'm not going to sit there talking to while you're typing at me. But you're welcome on the show again if you want. Right, I've got some other stuff here. I did a show on the ULEZ and stuff in the week. Yeah. And this is Adam again. So Adam's I prefer these shows, to be honest. Highlight of my week. Fuck me, Adam. You get out more, mate. Yes, more like this. Please put the flat earth debate up, and maybe three of us can debate soon. Who's the three of us, Adam?
I've got nothing to debate.
No.
He probably knows more about globe earth than I do.
Probably.
Yeah.
This is Cali Cat. This is I don't know who this is. A new person commenting. I live in the USA, and I don't think I've heard of anything close to the ULEZ, only that they're trying to make Lahaina, or whatever that is, into a smart city. Have you think about Antarctica as a topic? Right, I haven't thought about it. We've done it before, haven't we, Antarctica? But I just want to ask, Calicat, is the reason that you're asking about Antarctica, are you a flat earther? That's what I want to know. Because if you are a flat earther... I've got what have I got a message for you? Yeah.
Violated by gas!
That's for you, right? So, this is Troy again. I saw a video of a guy in London climbing the poles and removing the ULEZ sensors in a matter of seconds. Dude needs a medal. So Troy's in California, and he knows all about this ULEZ stuff. And this is from Jen. Quality episode. Looking forward to the weekend Patreon. So cheers, Jen. Thanks for your support, Jen. That's all the feedback from the Spotify for the last couple of shows. I am absolutely melting. Is it hot where you are, Damien?
Yeah, roasting.
What's the temperature? Because everyone's wanking over the fact that it's 31. Like Lee used to live in Cyprus, Lee, didn't you?
Yeah.
Where I am, it's 19. Yesterday was 29.
It's 19 at the moment.
At the moment, yeah.
Well, you're going to go and build a snowman after this? Fucking hell, wish I had 19.
Where you from, Damien?
Hull.
Oh, okay.
He said that you looked a bit embarrassed when you said Hull. Do you think Hull's a bit shit?
Yeah, it's a shit.
It's one of them places that whenever I'm driving up the country, I see the sign Hull, and I think, no one lives in Hull. Well, they do. He's here. You are the resident. That's why you're the only one with internet, because you're the only one that lives there. Does anyone else live in Hull?
About 1 million people.
Fuck off. There's not 1 million
Seriously?
people. They made them up. That's a psyop.
No, seriously.
That's a style.
That's what I'll be told. I guarantee you, right? This, as innocuous as this conversation is, I'm having a bit of a laugh at Hull here, right? But if he says there's 1 million people in Hull, and I say, "Oh, is there?" Someone will message me during the week and go, "You had that fucking bloke on trying to pretend there's 1 million people in Hull. They're all holograms. You're a fucking idiot if you believe that." That's the shit I get all the time. So I've got to take the piss out of it, right? So anyway,
think you're an AI.
Yeah, they probably think you're an AI. They probably think you don't live there either.
Wait, I've got a glitch.
You don't live in Hull. You've got a glitch. Yeah.
No, I don't live in a hole. No.
Your whole life's a fucking glitch. Right. Anyway, should we get on with this then? So we've been looking through. I'm going to pull the page up here so I can read through it. So Damien's once again for the second week running. Someone else has done all the work here, right? Which is which means some work's been done because normally we just do no work.
Yeah.
And this is about the satanic ritual abuse of school children in Hampstead. So first of all, Damien, before we get into the timeline of this and like the accusations, let's say, what are your thoughts on this? Like, what is your conclusion on what do you believe this or not?
I think it's definitely plausible that it happened with everything that we know that goes on and gets brushed under the carpet. The thing is, there was a medical examination done on both Gabriel and Alyssa, which concluded that they were sexually abused and beaten.
Really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
See, this is what I was going to say. Like, when I was watching the interview, I thought to myself, surely they've got to do an examination to see, because they're 9 years old. And I thought to myself, to see if they've been actually like sexually abused. So
is that a fact, or is that's not just a conspiracy website coming out with that, is it?
No, I'm pretty sure it's in the transcripts of the court case.
So who do they think did that then?
The children originally came out when they was on holiday and spoke to their mother and her partner. And they came out with this story that the father was abusing them, as well as many other people from this church and the school.
Yeah, I know, but then are you saying they was medically examined that they've been abused? So who are they? If they've squashed this case and said that they've made it all up, and the kids have come out at the end apparently and said, "Oh, I invented that." Very descriptive invention, by the way, for little kids.
Yeah, definitely. Very detailed.
But who are they concluding that has assaulted these children then?
It's never come out. The father turns around and says it was the mother, Ella, who was the one that was abusing them and abusing them like chair legs, things like that.
Chair legs?
Apparently there were. Yeah, like it's horrible.
Yeah. Jesus.
So both parents are claiming the other one's abusing these kids.
Yeah, basically.
That's a good upbringing.
The mother still claims to this day that it's 100% true, and it's just been brushed under the carpet because apparently there was some local MPs from Westminster that were involved in it as well. But
that makes it more believable to me.
See, this is the thing, and this is what I was thinking while I was watching. So when I watched the interviews of the kids first, and then I watched the father's interview, and I thought to myself, they're quite well to do. The kids speak really posh.
Yeah.
Right. The dad speaks really posh. Obviously, I didn't really hear the mother speak, but I just thought to myself, if these guys are like quite well-to-do people, they're gonna be in circles of other well-to-do people. So it's a
and then it starts to become more credible.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Yeah, and like you think to yourself, now the judge is the judge involved? Is the kid said a police officer was involved as well.
Yeah, probably the one doing the interview.
Yeah.
Right,
he sounded a bit dodgy as well.
Everyone does. It was a bit asked them to be descriptive, but I'll get into that in a bit. So I prefer people that don't know this case, because I didn't think I knew this case until I looked at this stuff. I thought I've seen this before, years ago. So I'm going to read out what it says here. There's obviously nothing on the web other than what Damien sent here. So it says, in late 2014, a video emerged on the internet of 2 young children claiming that they had been sexually abused by their father, and that he was the head of a satanic sex cult based in Hampstead, North London. In the video, the children were being quizzed by their mother, Ella Draper, and her partner, Abraham Christie, who made the recording as a safety precaution after the children explained their ordeal. The brother and sister insist they are passed around a satanic sex cult, which consists of teachers, classmates, parents, social works, supposedly that's about social workers, and many more. Their father, Ricky Dearman, is accused of being the leader of the cult and forces the children to sacrifice imported babies and then drink their blood. The harrowing claims continue with dancing around baby skulls, shoes made from babies' flesh, and much, much more. The claims are so elaborate and detailed that they could not have made them up or be forced to remember them. That's true.
How can a 9-year-old kid remember all that?
And it wasn't like there was not much umming and ahhing. There wasn't much umming and ahhing. It was all kind of just reeling off, wasn't it? Bearing in mind, in the later section entitled "The Police Interview," so this is they're going through what the evidence they've got on this page here, because there's not much to find on this. You will see the children eventually, after a week of being in care and 3 interviews later, retract their allegations and say they made it up. How did they think up such an elaborate story, I hear you ask? You didn't, because I never asked it. So don't speak for me. What? Well, apparently they got it all from watching The Mask of Zorro. Has anyone seen this film?
Hey?
Has anyone seen?
What is that? The Mask of Zorro. When is there any bit of child molestation or killing babies in that film?
Yeah, there isn't any, is there?
No.
I ain't seen The Mask of Zorro.
Yeah, I have.
I don't think that'd make it to the cinema if it was about this, though.
No, that's right, yeah.
So I don't know where they've got that from.
What makes it more believable as well, obviously the Pizzagate story broke as well in 2016, so it was only a couple of years apart. And the children claim the people involved use the skin from dead babies to make shoes, other things like that. And like you say, why would they lie about such things? You know, it's not something your average 8 and 9-year-old child go and tell adults that this has been happening if it hadn't have happened.
No, and it was very close to the Pizzagate allegations as well, like the same sort of thing. And they wouldn't have. I doubt that anyone, if someone was to invent that and invent this, I doubt the two would correlate. Like, I doubt anyone in America would see this case and copy it over there. So if this is the ritual, if this shit does go on, right, then I'm never going to be one to be convinced of anything unless I see it. I'm just not. But how do I put it? It's like, if everyone's saying the same thing and they're not got anything to do with each other, it makes it more credible. I get a billion notifications on my phone, but I'm going to be very professional and not look at any of them until I'm done. So it says also that they got it from the Mask of Zorro along with a friend at school who looks at plastic willies on her iPad. So that was the other evidence. Yeah, so they got, because someone looks at sex toys on the iPad, that they make up what colour carpet the teacher had, apparently. And then it says, "Do you honestly believe that?" So that's a bit of a shit excuse, to be honest. The children, who are both under the age of 10, go in. Well, they're not. They're about 40 now. But
I was going to say that was 6 years ago, wasn't it?
6 years ago. What's your maths? This was 2014.
2014.
Yeah.
No, 6. No, sorry. Yeah, more than that. Why do I think it's 2020?
How many, Lee?
What the fuck's
How
going
many years,
on?
Lee?
Yeah, it's 2020 now. Yeah.
Right. Hang on a minute.
9 years ago, then.
Hey, you got there. Well done. As I explained to their mother about the abuse that had been occurring since they were babies, and their father was the head of a satanic cult based in extremely wealthy, there you go, North London suburb of Leafy Hampstead. Ain't as leafy as Hull, by all accounts, right? Because you don't get any internet there.
Do you reckon they named it Leafy Hampstead because
I think so.
in the autumn there were so many leaves on the floor?
Yeah, I think that's why they called it that. They discovered it in autumn. They accused the father of forcing them to chop the trees down, then chop the heads off the euthanized babies that had been trafficked. Hampstead. Yeah, I know. Imagine does anyone call New York City Leafy? I don't know. Maybe Central Park. Trafficked into the country via various members of the cult. After the beheadings, they would drain the blood and drink it from a goblet. This is a bit wank. Did they do this? This is shit. This sounds like Indiana Jones.
So when they say goblet, is it they've gone to IKEA to get like a plastic cup and that's their goblet?
Probably an egg cup. Or they just had like a teacup and someone gobbed in it and it goes, yeah, that's a goblet now.
Because when someone says goblet, you think of this elaborate cup that's millions of years old.
Have you ever seen anyone? Have you ever seen anyone drink from a goblet without using two hands as well? They always do that.
Yeah,
no,
yeah.
To make it look more like fuck off. If I had a goblet, I'd just like chuck it up and catch it.
Be like this.
That's Lee and his goblet. What's that in there? Blood? I can see. You're in this cult. You're in Leafy Rayleigh at the moment.
Leafy Rayleigh.
They accuse their father of forcing to. I've just read this bit, haven't I? Where did I get to? Goblet, wasn't it? Yeah, from a goblet. While saving the bones for later use. Well, they got a dog. The story they relay is very detailed and they consistently give the same answers every time. He says every time, but he needs to go back to school, this bloke. But he left school because his teacher was abusing him, I heard. And a question, one of the most important things to remember about this story is that children describe numerous tattoos, piercings and distinctive markings on their abusers, which include the head teacher of their school of their school, Katie. This is a woman, Katie Forsdyke. Is she though?
Yeah, is she?
Right, this is what I was going to ask. Right, so it goes on to videos. I'm not going to play any of these videos because I don't really want to get struck anywhere. But we'll talk about what they say in them. So when these kids, so Damien, you'll know more about this than me because I watched these videos back in the day. I've scanned through them this time, but I haven't been able to find anything to corroborate what they've said. So when it says that they found that they described tattoos and stuff, were they accurate?
Yeah, I think so. The police were involved as well. The thing is, nobody's ever been charged of anything either. So it's one of them. I think it's whether you believe it or not.
The thing is,
there's no conclusive proof to say that it did happen, and there isn't any to say that it didn't. But the only thing is, like, why would they make it up?
Yeah. But the thing is, if you charge one person, you have to charge the rest.
The conclusive proof, though, that something happened is if they was actually found that they've been abused, then they've been abused. So something happened somewhere. It's just whether they, like for me, is the reason, I don't know this, but is the reason that this got thrown out and dismissed because of that girl recounting, like I was watching her talking about going to her teacher's house and describing the front door and describing the living room, describing the rooms, describing the colour of the carpet. Did anyone go and check any of that and think, no, this is all not what she said? So she's talking bollocks. Or did someone go around her and say, this is exactly how she described it?
I don't think the claims was taken seriously enough for that to happen.
So why was he drilling down on it so hard then? Like, why was he asking for all these details of the house if they wasn't going to go and check the house?
I don't know. It's a difficult one to find any solid information on it.
I couldn't find it. But I'm assuming that maybe that wasn't true because if she was accurate with everything she described, and I don't know what the boy described because I haven't seen the video because it's gone.
It's all very similar stuff, you know. What she says happened, he says it happened as well. And there was also apparently like 28 other children that this happened to, but none of them were ever named.
Hang on a minute, 28 plus 2. They still need 3 more to be Masonic.
Yeah.
You got to have a 33. You got to have 33 children, or 666, one or the other, for this to be true.
And then shortly afterwards, this coming out, House of Parliament had a refurb, and there was a lot of people online, like from the conspiracy community, saying it was getting refurbed, so there'd be no evidence, because apparently some of this abuse took place there, and there was also apparently a McDonald's that they used to go to where the abuse would take place back, like in one of the rooms.
Mackie D's were in on it as well.
Mackie D's. It's gone from pizza to Mackie D's.
Yeah, exactly.
Some of the videos that in what they were saying, they said the dead babies was used as meat for McDonald's.
I've heard that sort of shit before, but I don't want to think about that.
Nah, not that I eat McDonald's.
Yeah, I think you'd tell the difference, though, wouldn't you? You'd have your burger and you'd be, let's taste a bit more like baby than cow today. They'd change the recipe to baby.
Yeah, smells like newborn baby.
Yeah.
Sounds like cognitive dissonance to me, mate.
There you go.
But the thing is, it's the way she described the kid, right? So when she described the kid as in the way they sedated the kid, that like they said the teacher gave it an injection and it was flopping and it went like, it didn't go down in a thud, it just went down like slowly. Like, and you'd think to yourself, that's actually quite accurate, because like if you got sedated, it would gradually go through your body and not hit you all at once, if that makes sense. It would gradually make you flop down.
How many times you anaesthetized anybody to know this?
Well, fuck me, you've worked me out now.
SL, surgeon lead today.
Yeah, I better redo these walls.
Whenever I've been anaesthetized, I don't remember a thing.
But
like
that's the thing.
They literally say count to 10, and I'm always like, 1, 2. I think I'm going to get there easily, and I'm just gone after like 2 or 3. But.
Yeah. But the thing is, the detail in her description was so detailed. Like the way she described where the staff room was, the way she described where the kitchen in the church was, what they used string, the sedation, everything.
But that's what I mean. If all of that was accurate, then I believe her. But if it wasn't, it's just her imagination. But nobody knows whether any of that was checked. That's what I was wondering.
And that's what we don't know. We don't know whether the police checked it out. And I gather if they did find, if her, what she said corroborated with the evidence that she's given,
right,
in regards to the house, the school, the church,
so
this is
what I was going to say. I was going to say, if they're drilling down that much in interviews and asking for so much detail, for so much like tattoos and houses and what did this look like, what room did this, where did they do this, what colour was this room, where the carpet, what colour was his front door, where was it, blah, 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 blah. If they did all of that and then they went and checked it out and it was all accurate and then they found that these kids have been sexually abused, how would they be able to dismiss the case in court? Like, it can't, they can't have corroborated that. That stuff must have not been true. It must have not been true.
The thing is, it's like
or, I'm sure, or inaccurate.
Damien agree with this.
Don't speak for Damien.
No,
China.
If there was this many people involved, like we always say, you have to. Like she said, the whole school, all the teachers were involved. Like now, I don't believe that, because there must have been in that whole school. If most of the teachers were involved, there must have been 1 or 2 teachers who kind of knew about it and thought, no, this fucking shit ain't happening, I'm going to report it.
Yeah.
From a safeguarding point of view.
Yeah, the children even say Kafkas were involved in this as well.
Yeah, what the child services.
Yeah. And the fact that the case was shut down really quickly would suggest that somebody very important or very high up was involved.
I'll tell you another thing that points to that as well. Yeah. Like, because I'm always, I don't know. So I all I'm thinking is, if you was accused of something like this and you didn't do it, you'd hate for people to just assume you did, right?
Yeah.
And that's the problem with it. But this bloke didn't come across particularly. It didn't come across well to me. No. He come across like he was faking his tears and shit like that.
100% faking them tears.
Yeah.
Well, if you look into the father, Ricky Diamond, he's actually an actor, and he now lives in America, in LA. And we already know the amount of fuckery that goes on over there.
Yeah.
With the
If it's
Hollywood
in LA,
elites.
especially fucking California.
Yeah.
But also, the interview he had with the BBC, like, who else would they do that for? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, and that rung alarm bells for me. That was like, so he's on the BBC and she's going, these horrendous allegations that you've had to go through. What do you know about it?
But
like,
then
what does she know that he didn't do it?
But when he's crying, she's going, "Oh, it's all right. It's
okay.
all right. It's okay," like that. And I'm thinking to myself, like, I recognise that presenter. She's done some other stuff before, but and the thing is, now you say he's an actor, because when he was getting like playing that he was upset, like I thought it was an act. But
it was a shit act. Like no wonder he's never made it anywhere, because if that's his best acting. But she was giving it, I just can't get the words out because I love my children so much. And I'm just like, I'm thinking, if you'd have just sat there, like if that was me, I think I'd have just sat there and said, this is a load of bollocks. And I don't even want to talk about it. This is bollocks. I didn't do any of this shit, and it'll be proven I didn't do any of it. So I'm not worried. But instead, he's like, "Oh, it's just I can't get the words out," and I'm sitting there and I'm thinking,
it is cognitive dissonance.
That's what I thought. That's what went into my head, right? And I was when I was watching this. That's what you thought as well, isn't it, Lee?
Yeah, definitely cognitive dissonance.
Hey, you can say it finally. Well done.
But the thing is, as well, and if you see at the end of that interview, she said, "Why did you reach out to us?" He reached out to them.
Yeah, but they gave him a platform.
Yeah, they
did.
Would
they say, like, to Fred West, "Why did you reach out to us, Fred?" Do you know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
And to give him a platform and let him tell his side. No, they fucking wouldn't. Like, but this bloke, they will. And as Damien's saying, that makes you wonder, because this bloke
fucking speak for Damien.
No, as he's saying, I'm not saying he's gonna agree with me. I'm saying as he said, right? As Damien's saying, there's got to be someone involved that's important to be protected, to for them to go to these lengths to dismiss. Yeah, exactly. You're the important person in this. You're the fucking one they're really protecting. But it does make you think when the whole world of big everything, like big tech, big fucking whatever you call TV shit, right?
Yeah.
And they all come together to completely say this was a hoax. You think, was it? Like, why are you interested one way or the other? Why are you even talking about it? Why are you so keen to tell us it was a hoax? What do you care? Like, and that's what makes you think about it. But I don't actually know, as I say. But I do know. I'll tell you what I do know, right? That this would not be a problem if they got someone involved.
Mate, he would have solved this case.
He would.
Never. He would
Friggin'
never.
Hamish Campbell.
Hamish Campbell.
Get him involved. Come on, Hamish.
I think Hamish Campbell's probably the bloke that they're all protecting.
If you want to sweep,
if you want to Hamish.
If you want to sweep something under the carpet, just get Hamish in.
Yeah, that's what he did with Madeline. But I don't know where he gets his credentials from, because I've never heard of a case that was ever solved by Hamish Campbell. He gets brought in and suddenly the case gets dismissed. Do you want to dismiss a case? Bring in Hamish.
Do you reckon he went to an interview with the MI5 to get a bit of a promotion and went, yeah, so tell us the cases you've actually solved? And he's like,
Yeah, I think that's what happened. I think they said, Hamish, can you write a list of all the cases you solved? And he went, yeah, I already have. Look. How many of you dismissed? Oh, all of them. Oh, yeah, we've got the job. Right, we're sending you straight to fucking Portugal to sort this child out. Right,
yeah.
You can get
even though it weren't in Portugal, but they're still going to send him.
Especially sent by Blair.
Look, this crime took place in the leafy Hampstead, but what we're going to do is going to send you to Taiwan.
Yeah, exactly. I don't know why these child abusers and shit, like, it's fucking bad, isn't it? That I've got something like, it's a much less, stressful for other people. If you want to have a bit of a kink, you can always just watch some fox porn.
The police would have probably took that more seriously.
Fuck off, fox porn. Doesn't never shuts up. Yeah, they would have. Hamish Campbell wouldn't have sold fox porn. He'd have walked into the bushes, 2 foxes would be fucking. They'd go, I don't know what's going on here, and walked off. Dismissed the case.
But the thing is, as well, in this case, like, I never heard anything of it in the present that it was happening. Like, when these interviews
I'm not sure
place.
I did. I remember watching these videos. Must have been on the Book of Face or something back in the day.
Effect, mate.
Yeah, I know. That was after 2012, though, wasn't it? So it wouldn't have affected it. But I remember watching them back in the day on the Book of Face and thinking, that's fucking weird. And I watched the whole thing. I don't know who was sharing them. Someone on there was sharing them. And I think I sat and watched the whole interviews. And I couldn't actually believe what I was hearing. And I thought, this is fucking weird. And that's as everyone thinks, this is too detailed. Yeah. But to me, it all hinges, like, not that I'm anyone, that anyone gives a shit what I think, but it all kind of hinges on whether the information they gave was accurate or not. Because if none of this was true, then what was she doing around at Mr. Hollins' house anyway? Like, could either of you have described any of your teachers' houses?
No.
Exactly.
Definitely not.
There's no reason for you to be there, is there?
When I was 14, I would love to have went round my DT's teacher's house. She was fit. It was always nice for her to bend down in front of my desk when I needed my work looking at.
I know, but you're only like a 3-minute wonder now. Imagine how long you'd last in 14. Mate, about 3 seconds. Yeah, exactly.
3 seconds? Fucking hell.
She wouldn't
Give
even
me a
know
chance to get my pants off.
She wouldn't even know you was there. But I this is what I want to find out more about this, and I couldn't. And this is frustrating for me because I wanted to check, and I was hoping that Damien knew. But obviously, we're struggling here to find what was actually came of this, because I didn't know that it was found that they were abused. But I don't know if any of the details, because it's easy to reel off, oh, they knew all this and they knew all it, but did they know any of that? Or was that were they just making that up?
From everything that's out there that you can actually access, everybody does say there was a medical examination done on both of them, and it did come back that they were abused. And in one of the videos that I've seen recently, it looks like the girl, Alyssa, actually has black eyes in it.
Oh, that shit we was talking about on the on the Patreon.
The black eyes.
Yeah, we was talking about. You probably wouldn't have heard that yet, Damien. That's only gone out this morning on Patreon. We was talking about. I'm
Disney. Familiar with what they call the Black Eye Club. I mean, it's from when a young child's been abused.
Yeah, this is just dark shit, isn't it?
Yeah, but the thing is as well, that didn't the mother run off abroad or something like that because she was facing prosecution?
Well, she didn't get a plane. That was a bit of a trek, wasn't it, to run abroad?
Yeah, she was Jesus, mate, run on water.
Did anyone sponsor
her? Yeah, she did. She did go abroad. I mean, as far as I'm aware, nothing. She was never charged with anything either, because it was just his claims versus her claims, and ultimately, what's out there is you just. You conclude it yourself as to what you believe. I mean, I can't see anyone making up lies that bad. And in one of the videos, the girl, Alyssa, she said she had to cut a baby's head off. And the mother, her boyfriend, said, well, how would you do that? Surely you've not got the strength to do that. Yeah. And she said, no, my dad, he put his hand on mine. And he helped me do it.
Yeah, see, what I can get from that is I'm not saying what she's saying, she's lying, but what I'm saying is her mum's prompted her to say, my dad put his hand on my hand to help me do it. Because like she would have said, well, yeah, we cut babies' heads off, but then the common sense of people would have come out and said, well, would the kid would have been strong enough to do that? But then the mum said, but was you strong enough to do that? And she said, no, my dad put his hands on my hand and helped us. not.
Even then, like, as you're a surgeon today, right? Could anybody cut, like, surely you got to cut through spine and shit, right?
It's fucking hard, mate. Not
You'd
that
think
I've
so,
ever done it. Yeah. But when so I've listened to like things on like crime, like people with crime TV, people have chopped someone's head off and they've confessed to it and things like that. And they've said it's actually really hard to cut someone's head off.
Yeah.
Like you have to, like if you see, like when you see the Taliban chop someone's head off on the internet, it's like, it's not like they actually have to saw. It's not a clean cut.
No,
it's not.
You're not
like
you're not gonna get a sword and cut someone's head off. It ain't a fucking lightsaber. You know what I mean?
No.
I definitely think there's some truth to it. Definitely, that's what I believe. But again, the mother, if you look back into like her past history, there's accusations that she's accused ex-partners of similar things. So it puts into place whether or not she's credible.
Yeah, I know, but
even if she children would lie.
No, I know, but even if she has, what you talk about the mum that's actually brought the accusations is accused people of the same thing in the past.
Yeah, similar stuff. Yeah,
but even if she had fed the kids this story, when my son was 9, if I'd have told him to remember something and to tell us, he would have constantly been like, fuck, what did Dad tell me to say? But they weren't nothing like that. No, they were just reeling it all off.
Yeah, they were like very matter of fact about it.
Yeah. So but then it depends. Some kids are quite gifted, aren't they, with imagination?
But both of them were doing it, not just one. And the thing is, like, go on, Damien. Sorry, mate. Go on.
They were both saying the exact same stuff. Both the stories always matched. They never didn't not match what the other child was saying. You know, every time they was interviewed, because there was actual videos where they was in the police station being interviewed by police, but you can't access them now. And they were on for hours and hours.
Yeah. You know what blows my mind? Even in this case, even if this isn't true, is the fact that it's even credible that people might believe that there can be a satanic child sex cult at all. Because
I believe there is.
No, but what I'm saying is, who starts that conversation? Do you know what I mean? Like, and how does it grow? Like, without one person finding out about it and saying that's a fucking satanic sex cult.
Yeah.
I'm going to alert the authorities about this. Like, how have they got like a gaydar sort of thing?
Yeah.
Like, have they got like a child abuse dar or whatever the fuck you call it?
But the thing is, people don't give a shit about other people these days. So, like, if you take, for example, when things happen out on the street, what the fucking first thing people do? Get their phone out and film
Get the phone.
Yeah, they don't get involved in it. They don't try and break it up.
I think people might get involved in child abuse.
Oh, see, I'm very skeptical about what people.
What would you do if someone approached you from work and said, "Mate, you know, on the down low, we're fucking, you know, eating babies and abusing children at this location."
Oh yeah, definitely. I'll definitely report it. I'll be
but that must have happened, mustn't it?
I'll be like, go fuck yourself, mate. That's just disgusting.
But that must have happened, unless they do that thing like what people say about Epstein and stuff. Like when people talk about they compromise you first, so as even if you're not in on it, you don't speak about it.
Yeah,
now, that's more likely.
That's what I was going to say. If what they say is true and there were local MPs involved, that's what they do. They blackmail you, don't they?
Yeah.
They say they offer you something that you want that you normally couldn't obtain.
Yeah.
And then filming you do these acts, and then they've got that on you, so you have to do whatever they say whenever they tell you to do it.
Yeah.
That's what they say.
I
how
think
all
I
these
think
things
a
work.
lot of people are very easily coerced into doing things, because what they'll do is they'll play upon your insecurities and what your need for things. So like if you're skint, they'll offer you shitloads of money. Like so on the third interview, the kids actually retracted the story and said it was all made up. Now the first and second one, they apparently they were accurate in what they were saying. And I just want to go back to where they interview and separately, and this is what they do with people involved in like murder cases. If two people are involved in killing someone, they will interview them separately, so to see if their stories corroborate. And the kids' stories apparently did corroborate. That like the detail that they gave. Now, if child support agencies were were involved, MPs were involved, then there's massive amounts of like higher echelon people who are quite easily influenced. So the judge could have quite easily been influenced if people from Parliament was involved, because you'd think, does Parliament need that fucking sort of coverage? They don't. So they would try everything that in their power to cover it up.
But then you wonder, don't you, as well, like when you get to that level, because whether this is true or not, we know shit is covered up all the time. Weird shit is covered up.
Yeah, of course it is.
And the reason it's covered up is because nobody needs to be thrown under the bus yet. And when someone needs to be thrown under the bus to protect everyone else, they will pick like the low-hanging fruit, if you like, to throw under the bus. And then all say, oh, that was awful what this person did. But I think that most of Parliament are compromised in some way. If not with child abuse, then with other sexual embarrassing things, or they've got videos of them doing certain things or whatever. So they just keep quiet about everyone else, because otherwise they could be exposed for what their vices are, kind of thing. I think that's the way it works.
It's like if you're someone who's got some sort of power, then you have to convince people lower down of saying keep your fucking mouth shut. You're gonna find something on them, either on the internet, like what they've been searching, if they're having an affair and stuff like that, because you're going to send people out to follow them. Like maybe I'm going a bit too in the movies here, but that shit does happen, and it's like that's how they, like the judge and the child support agencies, like the people involved in that, they could quite easily said, look, we've got this shit on you. If you don't shut this down right now, this is going to come out.
Well, look at the BBC.
Yeah.
Does anybody really believe that Savile was the only one up to this shit? Right. He was thrown under the bus after he died to save everyone else. It's
easy to throw someone under the bus after they died, right?
Yeah, but then, he was fucking his dead mum in his house.
Oh, yeah, of course.
It's easy to chuck him under the bus for being a fucking weirdo anyway. But this, when people of note are involved in things, it's easy to cover up for everyone else, because you don't want your names out there. Like the Epstein stuff, we're still being led to believe that Ghislaine Maxwell trafficked kids to nobody.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
The thing is, they don't even try and hide it anymore. They don't try and hide it.
Yeah.
Go on.
And it did end up in court. All these things that the children were saying were spoke about, discussed, and it was quickly shut down as if like they didn't want it getting out. And you can access the court transcripts, and it just goes on and on and on. There's like 24 pages of the stuff that you could read and get more information from. And
I'm going to link that,
I think
actually.
I think it was about a couple of years ago.
Is it the transcript that you sent me? Is it on that?
Yeah.
Right, so I'm gonna link that then in the show notes for everyone to go read if they want to. I'll put a link in the description of this show. I won't put it on YouTube, but
go on, Damien.
It came out a few years ago that there was 230 odd members of Parliament that were accused or actually found guilty of child abuse. And they're active members of Parliament.
I don't even struggle to believe that either.
No, I don't.
That's the weirdest thing about it is the fact that I hear that and I think, yeah, probably. Like, I don't think, fuck, really? I think, yeah, I think that.
It's
we're so
honestly,
heavily censored. Like, if you try and read this online, it's all it is straight away it was a hoax. It was a hoax. There's no
that's right.
The other side isn't on there, so you can't make your own mind up on it.
No, but I would be interested if anyone's listening and they've looked into this, because I've been asking people on TikTok and whatever, because I knew we was doing this show. So I was asking people, if you know anything about this, let me know. So anyone listening to this, if you've got access or you know any websites I could check out to see whether the kids' stories did hold up, of the descriptions that they gave of everybody, because that is what swings it for me. If they knew all of that and it was accurate, then I don't see how you can just dismiss this. If none of it was accurate, then I can see why you could dismiss this. But the dad, I'm gonna have to stop now. We've got like 45 minutes in, so we wouldn't close this. We've got closing thoughts in a second. But if the dad didn't, so to round up where I feel, we'll all go through what we think. The dad did not convince me at all. He looked fake as fuck. He didn't look convincing. He didn't look like how I believe you would act if you were so devastated you was getting these accusations. The kids were very convincing, but I want to know what all of the detail they gave, whether that's credible or not. I've not seen the mum or the partner to judge what I think about them. But the way, as Damien just said, the way it's been so quickly hoax. Like when you look up any theory online, you go to Wikipedia or something and they'll say, this is a thoroughly debunked conspiracy. Like, they don't even tell you what it is before they tell you that it's bullshit. And this is what I'm finding with this. It's like hoax. BBC have interviewed the victim, the dad, and basically took the line immediately without listening to anything. And this was before it even went to court, I think. Am I right in that, Damien? That interview with the dad? Yeah, so it hadn't even been decided that it was a hoax, but they decided preemptively that it was already a hoax. Why were they protecting this person? Who was he? Who's he linked to? Like that sort of thing. So alarm bells, but I won't be convinced until I know that the kids, what they said was accurate with all of their descriptions of the church, the houses, the tattoos, etc. Lee, what do you think?
Very, very like echo what you say, really, mate. It's the dad wasn't convincing. The kid's story was, how they knew all that detail is beyond me. That, like you say, when a kid lies or tells a story, they go like this, so they sort of brain fart a lot. But no, I'm a bit on the fence with it, because like you've seen stories like this where they have come out and said all this shit and it's like gone to court and it's turned out not to be what it is, blah, blah. But I just think to myself, there's too many higher up people involved in this for it to be swept under the carpet. Do you know what I mean? So like
what do you mean though? Why is there too many high? We don't know any of the higher.
No, like the child support agencies, the teachers.
Oh, you mean higher up?
Yeah, and like
professions.
And this conspiracy theorist in me says it could be true, because there's a lot to say that it is, because the interview with the dad again was just not convincing, and now Damien says he was an actor. It just explains a lot, really, because he was crying. He was crying without no tears.
He's got a show reel on YouTube. It's quite funny.
Yeah. So I'll have to look.
His
name's Ricky Dearman. If anyone wants to look him up, it's Dearman.
Yeah.
Right, Damien. Your final thoughts on this? You're probably. I'm getting it that you think that this is all true.
I believe that it could definitely be true, yeah. And there's definitely more to it than it was just a hoax. When it, like you said, the BBC interview, it just came across cold. For somebody that, I'm a father myself, if someone accused me of them things, I would be absolutely devastated. Yeah. I wouldn't be just sat there cool, calm, collected like he was.
Yeah.
I think he knew that interview was going to take place. He'd well and truly prepared for it. And I think even if he isn't involved in it, like if he didn't do it himself, he definitely knows that them children were abused at some point within his care. If it wasn't directly from him, it was by, I don't know, maybe renting them out to other people to do it.
Do you believe, regardless of the abuse, do you believe in like the baby stuff?
I'd like to say no, but it probably, we know this type of stuff happens.
Do we know that though? We hear about it a lot, but has there ever been any concrete evidence of people sacrificing babies for a cult?
We'd never get to see concrete evidence on anything, do we? It's no matter what the topic is. Like, I'm sure you've heard of, this is going off topic, but I'm sure you've heard of Frazzle Drip. Hillary Clinton,
I actually brought that up on the Patreon. When you listen to the Patreon, we do speak about that for a bit. And Amelia actually looks it up while we're talking, which is quite fucking weird that you've just brought that up.
Again, you can't find nothing on that. But do I believe that is more than likely true? Yeah.
You can't. I do. Have you tried to find that?
I think I sent you something, actually. I think I sent you a video and you
watched
it and you turned around and you said to me that was absolutely dark.
Yeah, I can't. I don't think I've ever seen, or have I? Maybe I did watch it when you said. But loads of people try and send it to me all the time, and I kind of don't really open stuff if I don't really know the person that is sending it to me. But now you mention it, I've got pictures in my head of it, so maybe I did watch it.
Yeah, a young blonde girl.
Yeah, and it was the girl. It showed her before and then her face, didn't it? Like her face was
very disturbing stuff.
Yeah,
I'd have to have a look at that.
Yeah, I don't know where you probably got a better chance to find it on Rumble or something or BitChute. It'd probably be
even
one of
Telegram.
Those.
Telegram's pretty good for finding information that they don't want you to access.
Telegram's full of flat earthers, though. I don't go there.
Yeah, I don't. I'm not down with that either.
No, they dominate Telegram, and they also dominate BitChute and all this other stuff. Right. Anyway, I think that'll do for this. Maybe we could revisit this if we find any more information. If anyone out there wants to help us out, at WhatKast on any of the social media or at WhatKast podcast now, because I've had to have a second account on fucking TikTok because I got kicked. So if you want to get that, or whatcast@gmail.com for information on this topic. Cheers, Damien, for coming on. Cheers, Lee, for sorting your phone out so we can all hear you today. Next time, don't fucking forget your computer for the third week running.
I've not been at work all week, so...
No, I know.
I've not been able to get it.
Right, we don't know what topic we're going to be doing next week. We're going to figure. What did you want to do, Lee?
I went to a barbecue yesterday, and Rossi's sister.
I'm not doing a show about your barbecue. That'd be a bit shit.
So Rossi's sister-in-law is up with that Idaho.
Is she coming on or not?
Yeah, so all three of them want to come on, and I said about a Sunday evening because they can't do Sunday mornings.
Who's all three of them?
So you got the twins. So
you got triplets.
You got Loretta and Vanessa. Right. They're both massively into the whole, like they've been following this from day dot. The Idaho College.
I think 5 people might be a little bit much, to be honest.
It could,
a lot of talking over.
Yeah, it could be. But you got their friend Shawnee, who's equally into it as well. But that Idaho murder stuff, mate. I don't know, Damien. Do you know anything about Idaho murders?
I don't, to be honest. No.
Look it up, mate, because it is some really weird shit. The actual so 4 college students get killed in their house, but there's 6 of them living in that house. The murderer leaves 2 people alive, but where the murders were that brutal, basically the blood was seeping out from the house. And you can actually see, like, down the side of the house.
Is this a Flicks of Net thing?
It's on Paramount.
All right, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, I'll have a look. I'll do
It's really good. It's really good. There's so many twists and turns in it. Like if you look it up on the internet, like the show will only give you the like the base of what actually happened, who they think was involved, but it's gone on since then. It's more information that they think one of the college students was involved, living in the house. They've like the apparent murderer has an alibi as well, that he didn't do it, but why'd they find
wasn't Ricky Dearman, was it?
No, I think Hamish Campbell was
investigating
it. So,
he was about to get arrested. Yeah. Hamish Campbell got put in the case, dismissed. Cheers, Hamish. Sorted it out. Right, so we might be doing that next week. Is that what you're telling me?
Yeah, I really enjoy it, mate. And even if they don't, yeah.
Well, if they don't come on, I ain't fucking doing any work. So get them on, and we're not doing it. I'm not doing research. I'm just fucking having a laugh, and Right, so that's all for this week's WhatKast. I'm going to close it here then. Cheers, Damien, again for coming on. Cheers for all your support over the time you've been supporting us and listening to the show. By the way, how did you ever find our show? I don't know how you ever found. What did you actually search for?
The Thought.
Yeah, it was on Spotify, and I was looking up COVID conspiracies because right from the start, I thought this is just bullshit. People are doing strange things, and it brought up your show, and that's how I found it.
Because it was always, for everyone that finds our show, it's either COVID or Pizzagate. Like pretty much every single person.
Did they never find it on 9/11?
No, I don't think so. Because most people listen to 9/11 go, 9/11, no, there was definitely hologram planes. These pricks don't know what they're talking about. Oh, 1-star review. This prick. Doyle.
Yeah.
All that shit, right? That's the problem you have. It's like you have to be massively down the rabbit hole to retain a massive audience, or you have to be a massive skeptic and not believe anything. You're not allowed to think about it and talk about it normally and have a bit of a laugh.
You're not allowed to be non-biased.
No one wants you to be in the middle with anything.
Well, before I started listening to you guys, I will admit I was more of a conspiracy theorist than what I am now. Like, you've taught me to look at it and think about it rather than just believe it, if you know what I'm saying.
You have to. Like, this is what this is probably my main argument with people. Actually, do you fancy, like, I'm going to end the show here. We'll stay on and chat about other shit. Do you want to stay on and do like a quick Patreon? We're doing after show. So anybody on the Patreon now, we're going to get onto an after show conversation about general wider conspiracy theories with Damien. But for everyone, all you cheapskates that don't want to pay for anything, you got to go now. See you later. Adios.
You have been listening to WhatKast. Follow and contact us on the Twitter, the Book of Face, and the Gram of Insta at WhatKast with a K.